We'll try unmuting. Good evening. Hope the sound is good. That was my first question. Obviously, I was on mute at the start. A bit of a last minute decision to go live, a bit unorganized. Today has been a really hectic day. With the car boot sales not being on, I've been finding different ways to source, and I managed to get a fantastic pickup today, which I'm going to film a little bit about potentially in an upcoming video. One thing in the pickup potentially paid for the whole lot, and I didn't even know it was there. So yeah, really happy with today. So I thought last minute I would organise a quick live. I'll come on and speak to you guys because I know a lot of car boot sales are cancelled. There's not a lot of footage out with a car boot sale, so we'll try something new. But let me just say a few quick hellos. RS is in. Hope you're good. Lucy's on both channels. Lucy, what's going on? Which channel are we on tonight? I hope you're well. I see you were speaking a lot about your car boot sale has also been cancelled again. Now, with regards to the car boot sales, I'm meant to be starting the car boot sale roadshow this weekend down in Cornwall, Newquay area. But at the moment, the weather looks absolutely terrible. So I'm going to take all my GoPro equipment anyway, in case things brighten up. I'm also going to look for a potential indoor car boot sale I can find. So if not, that trip will have to be reorganized and done later in the year because that's the nature of the British weather. Anyway, tonight I just wanted to come on probably for about 40 minutes or so tonight. I've still got all of my packing to do. I'm running so far behind, as I mentioned today when I picked up this huge haul. I'll give you a sneak preview of some of the stuff. We have lots of Home Pride figures. And I know what people are going to say, James, you're meant to be a clothing reseller, you're niching down. If you've watched the video about me niching down, I did say it's going to be a slow process. So this week we're adding 3 items of clothing using the new clothing setup here into the store, but I am still picking up everything. And in my defense, this still was organized before I decided I was going to niche down. Okay, so give me a little break. Anyway, I've already sold some stuff in this bundle, but a video will be upcoming hopefully. But the question tonight is, if you was to start eBay today or tomorrow, shall we say, what would you do differently compared to what you do at the moment? So what have you learned during your time doing eBay, whether that be you've been doing eBay for a week, a month, a year, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it may be? What is the one thing you would change if you were going to start brand new? So for me, obviously the topic at the moment is about niching down. So I would have probably picked my niche and niche down quicker to how long it's taken me to do so. I've been selling on eBay over 2 years, and I feel I should have made a decision after year one. I think the first year on eBay, you kind of work things out, you kind of play around with things, and then for me, I should have decided what I want to do. But yeah, I'm keen to know from you guys, if you were to start eBay brand new, what things would you change? What things would you do differently? Or are you the kind of person to say, do you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. Because I know some people are like that. Some people are very much a case of, you know, it's been a learning curve throughout, and part of the learning is making the mistakes. But what things have you picked up, whether that be from other resellers or from your own process, or whatever it may be, where you think to yourself, this is what I would do differently? So, catch up with the chat. So, Lucy saying, this one now, sorry, I get confused. Her personal one, which is the other one, but I'm here now. Well, good to see you, Lucy. Hopefully, the car boots, as I say, pick up for you. We've got Limelight Vinci in. Hope you're well. So yeah, for me, the niche and down part has been a real eye opener. So I kind of admitted to myself I need to niche down. It was, well, this time last week I kind of said it on the live, but it was a few days before that I kind of said it out loud that, you know what, it's time for me to make a change. And what I have found since I've decided to niche down, doing one process is so much quicker. So don't get me wrong, I'm not listing 30 items of clothes. Okay. Last week I was doing at least one a day on top of my 20 listings of everything. But I have found it really quick and easy to do with the photo setup, which again, I need to do a video on the photo setup and show how easy it is to list clothing. But yeah, with regards to myself, the whole niching down thing has took a big weight off my shoulder. And funnily enough, when I picked up this huge bundle behind me today, when I got it home, I was excited because it's a really good bundle. But then I'm dreading it because I'm feeling like, do you know what? It's all of this, everything stuff. It's all of this different process. But I still need to feed the store until I become a clothing expert. So, as I said, I'm going to do that for the rest of the year. But I think it might happen a bit quicker that I completely switch over. But anyway, let's see who else we've got in and also what people would change if they were to start eBay brand new. So, Lucy says she would have an office, never had one, and it's just stored in the house. Yes. So, with regards to space to work, I have seen a difference in my work and how motivated I am to come down the shed when the shed's empty. So now I've got the storage units where I store the stock in. Normally the shed is empty, and I can't say that because I'm sitting right at the edge of the desk because all this other stuff's next to me and it's stressing me out. So yeah, I think that's a great one. I think if you can have space where you can work effectively and then store things out of the house, I think that's a real win. Tama Bell, hope you're well. I was speaking earlier about starting the Boot Sale Roadshow. Hopefully this weekend, if the weather improves. It doesn't look like it's going to improve, but we're going to try. And yeah, later in the year, I'm going to message you guys. I'm going to come and meet you both in Scotland. You can show me what Scotland's all about. Limelight Minty says, start a SKU from day one. Yes. So I think a lot of people do not SKU the items from day one because when you're listing 30 or 40 items, you kind of know where they are just by looking. I think once you get over 100 items, you need a SKU system. So yeah, I think SKUing from day one. And my SKU system is changing slightly when it comes to clothing. I bought some labels from Amazon. And as I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an upcoming video about how now I process clothing with the photos and how I pack clothing, how I SKU it as well. But I bought these from Amazon, and I'm storing the clothing in the long box method. Again, when I do the video, I'll show you exactly what I mean. But yeah, I think a SKU system is really important as a reseller. It's going to save your account at the end of the day. You're not going to lose as many items. And also, when it comes to picking the items, it's so much easier. Lucy's saying that she's in Cornwall on the 8th of April. Weather looking good. Yes, the weather's looking better the week after. So what I'll do, Lucy, I'll drop you a message. I'll try to remember after this live. Drop me a message on Instagram to remind me if you could. I'll drop you a message the one we are going to on the Sunday if the weather's good. But that one looks pretty big. But I'm checking out the Facebook page, see if it's on. I'm not too sure whether it is going to be, but if it is, we will go. Global Salvage is in. I always read your name. I think Global Savage, but Global Salvage. Hope you're well. Dig Vintage, good evening. Hope you're good. Limelight Vintage, are you doing just clothes or footwear? So I am doing a mixture. And to give you an idea of what has sold today, we have some shoes and we have, this is going to pile down. These are stuff I've got to pack afterwards. We have some clothing as well. So it is going to be a real mixture. Honestly, I brought one of them shoes off Sully's Vintage and I got a cracking deal. But cleaning shoes takes so much time. So I think if I'm going to pick up shoes in the field, they're going to be ones ready to list or just a wipe over. So I think clothing is going to be the main aspect, but the shoes is going to be the thing that I will pick up if they're good and they can just be wiped over. I don't want to spend 20 minutes cleaning up a pair of shoes, to be honest. Neil's in. Hope you're good, Neil. Now, Neil has been a massive help to me. I'm talking about what would you do differently. I would make connections quicker because just chatting to Neil has been a real lifesaver for me. And I've bombarded Neil with so many questions regarding cameras, and he's never told me to piss off yet. Well, not to my face or not to me over WhatsApp. So yeah, I really appreciate his help as well. People saying hi. Hi, Pete. Hope you're good. Pete, I'm going to message you later. I keep forgetting. I want to get you on. So we'll have to arrange a date. Fix it. Hope you're good. Simon, hello, mate. I'm really caught up with you this week. I know we've both been busy doing things, but yeah, Simon's come with me sourcing a couple of times before I had niched down into clothing, and he's a big reason why I'm doing it as well. I'm sure he'll like me saying that. Is because I've seen how quickly he can go from the rails and pick stuff. But again, that's only because Simon has spent the time to seek the knowledge and build up that experience. Yeah, so Lucy's saying they're working on the office space. Yeah, I think if you can have a space where you can just work and it's a clear space, you'll get a lot more done as well. Yes, Tam Bell, I'm so excited. Leanne's going to come to Scotland as well. As soon as I mention I'm going to Scotland, even though it's for work, she's like, I'm coming to Scotland. So, yeah, it'd be good to meet up with you guys and maybe go out for a drink. It'd be quite cool. Savage, yeah, done it again. Global Salvage. I would have brought less low value items in the beginning, keep the average sales price as high as possible. Yes. So that is a huge mistake I make even today, where especially from the everything seller point of view, and I'm always going to talk now as a clothing seller and an everything seller until the complete switch. But anyway, as an everything seller, I was doing a lot of £1 into £10, and that's all well and good. But if, for instance, I'm listing 20 items on eBay a day, now we all know eBay's not going to guarantee me 20 sales. It's never 20 up, 20 down, unless you are selling stuff that has a crazy sell-through rate. But anyway, I was finding that them £10 items are good, but if you have, say, 10 sales and they're all £10 items, it's not a great day. So you need a real mix in your store of the £1 into £10, as well as the £5 into £50. So yeah, you do need to keep the average sales price high. That is really important. I think for anyone who's starting eBay, that for me is the real focus. Don't just rush to chuck rubbish in your store just for the sake of it. Spend a bit more time sourcing. Maybe start your, I don't know, your listing goal maybe 2 a day or 5 a day, and spend a little bit more time sourcing and finding better items to put in the store. I would not worry about individually recorded buy price on each item, no need. We now just record total spend. Oh, okay, so you are speaking about the line by line. And again, to my sins, I have been doing line by line since day one. And that is just a me thing. I like to keep track on how much I'm making month for month. It's got some fancy charts and stuff. And I like to compare it year on year. But you're right, you don't need to do that. eBay has all the data. And again, I think if you are a niche down seller, it's a lot easier for you to go and say, buy 30 items of clothing from the charity shop. That might cost you, we'll keep it simple for the maths because I'm feeling a bit tired today, but that might cost you £30. So, you know, cost of goods is £1 each, and that's your running cost of goods. Where you're an everything seller, some things might cost you £10, £5, £2, £20. So that's why I like to track it personally. But yeah, if you can just use eBay to do it, and they give you all the stats now, it saves you so much time. Lima saying, I only had about 50 items and thought I'd remember where, but couldn't. Yes. So one of my challenges at the moment, and I'm working on solving this challenge, is where I list the items in the shed and then move them to the garages. Skewing is becoming really difficult because it's trying to remember what boxes are free in the garage and where I can put the items. So I'm trying to think of a good way to do that. Now, what I'm thinking at the moment is I bring one of the boxes back to the shed. I fill that box up before it goes off to the garages, because then I know it's a full box. And then just to work on consolidating. So maybe once every 2 months, go for the whole thing, consolidate, see where the spaces are in boxes, and then work on bringing a list back, etc. But yeah, I think the SKU system, and everyone's saying it, the SKU system is so important. I love cleaning shoes. I'm a sourdough. Yes. So do I love cleaning the shoes? I don't love cleaning shoes. No. Do I mind cleaning shoes? No, not really. If they're worth cleaning. I've been guilty before of spending 20 minutes cleaning a pair of shoes that are going to make me £6, £7 profit. Complete waste of time. Just give them a quick wipe over, take a couple of pound less, let someone else clean them. But yes, I think for good pairs of shoes, and if that's your niche, you need to clean them and make them look as good as possible, 100%. There, everyone. Neil saying questions welcome, so bombard him. We've got more weirdos in here. So Tam Bell. So Tam, you like cleaning shoes, especially all the crap out of the tread. So satisfying. Yes, I remember seeing a video George put out where, and I love George Ross, by the way, where he left a stone in the shoe and he got a return, which is just crazy, really, why someone would return a pair of, I think it was Tim's, because they had a stone in it. But yeah, people find it satisfying. I really don't. I'm just like, I'm bored of cleaning shoes now. And I think that came from, and it's quite good, I got that big bundle from Jamie where I had so many shoes to clean, and that was all I was doing. I think if you're mixing it up, it's a bit easier. But yeah, I wouldn't go solely down into shoes as a niche personally. What I will say, though, it's an amazing niche because the money's there and there's lots of shoes about similar to clothing. But I am still going to pick up shoes at the car boot. I don't know if he'll watch this and whether he's in tonight, but Jamie has told me to leave his shoes away at the car boot, but I will pick up the odd pair. Lou saying, is anyone buying more from the charity shop Facebook Marketplace while a car boot sells? Yes. So this is what I wanted to speak about with regards to what I would do differently. I was very narrow-minded when it comes to eBay when I first started, feeling like the car boot sales are on for 6 or 7 months of the year. I will get enough stock from just the car boot sale to see me over the winter period. But Lucy, we live in a similar area, and I've been to one, and I'm going to call it a half because I went to a school car boot sale the other day, which was about 10 stalls. But I've been to 1.5 car boot sales in the last 3 weeks. Now, I have a listing goal, a target I've set myself of doing 20 a day. So if I just relied on car boot sales, I'm going to get nowhere near that from 1.5 boot sales for 3 weeks worth. Now, luckily for me, I had a bit of a backlog and I've been doing some private pick deals here, like I've got with me today. I've been doing Facebook Marketplace. I've been doing Nextdoor. I've been doing just other ways to find stock. Charity shops. I go into charity shops now, especially with doing clothing. I'm going in there once or twice a day. The one local to me gets down the road. So yes, you need to find, I think, at least 5 or 6 sources when it comes to being a full-time reseller. If you're just reliant on the car boot sale, it's really difficult because of the weather. We can't control it. Paul, hope you're well. I haven't seen Paul for a little while because I think you was at the first boot sale when it was back on down at Moss End, but it hasn't been on since. So yes, I will be leaving the records for you, mate. I'm away this weekend. I don't know if it's going to be on anyway, so I won't see this weekend. But hopefully next weekend, if you're there, we'll have a catch up because yeah, I'm going to tell you about. Obviously, well, I don't know if you know, but I've niched down into clothing, or slowly niching down into clothing, which is a complete new thing for me. But yeah, even while I niche over and carry it across, I'm not going to be picking up records. So they're all yours, mate. Hope you're good, though. I hope you're keeping well. So we're talking about shoes still, especially white trainers. When they look terrible, you get them sparkly and white again. So coming in, you shoe cleaners and shoe sellers, should I say, not just cleaners, because you obviously sell them as well. What are you using to clean your shoes? Because I use, and I see we've got Landon in from America, but I use elbow grease. Is it called elbow grease? I'm not sure. You get at Home Bargains. It's like it's a yellowy spray, and that seems to do a good job. But come on, shoe cleaners and sellers, tell me what you're using because I might be doing it all wrong. And you might have this special stuff that I'm going to love cleaning shoes. Maybe a little different with your clothing. In what way, Landon? Because I'm probably a bit behind the chat. Let me have a look here. I'd bundle a lot more if I started again. Bundles are still underrated. Yes. So, Tam, in this big lot I bought today, I have 2 big cardboard boxes of cars. Corgi, Matchbox, some in packets, etc. like this. A set of micro machines I actually sold this evening. I reckon I underpriced it, but I don't mind. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing bundles with that. So if any other resellers are looking for a big bundle of cars that I don't know anything about in the next, or I don't want to put a deadline, in the next week or so, there'll probably be a couple of auctions on my page. And you'll probably find some really good cards that are probably worth thousands of pounds that I don't know about. So keep your eyes open, bid on them, win them really cheap and make good profit. I don't mind. But yes, I agree. I think bundles are underrated and you can quickly bundle things up where it's not worth listing for one and you can quickly bundle it up and make it worth it. Does anyone put trainers in the washing machine? I hear mixed opinions. So I have done before, but some of the Nikes that I put in there, the backs, I can't explain, the little plastic thing in the back seems to be pushing through a little bit. But again, these trainer experts who do it day in, day out might have a solution for that. Someone said to put it in a pillowcase as well. I've tried that. So, yeah, let us know you shoe guys in tonight. Lou's saying toys with me, specifically bundle that we split out. So I just list line by line. It's easier to know which bundle it came from. Yeah, so with accounting, I mean, I have an accountant, so I don't need to list line by line. That's just for my satisfaction. It's similar to what the shoe guys are saying about they get satisfaction out of cleaning shoes. I get the same of looking at my numbers. I'm strange like Let me have a look here. I don't put them in the wash, all hand done with toothbrush, not my personal one. Yes, do not use the same toothbrush you use to brush your teeth to clean your shoes. That's another tip. And maybe that's something that shoe guys would do differently. Maybe they all started using their toothbrushes that they use in the bathroom to clean the shoes and now they wouldn't. But yeah, that's good advice. Don't use your personal toothbrush. Dig. This is a big one I'm guilty of. Avoid broken, damaged items. We never get round to fixing stuff. Yes, in my squirrel brain mentality, my last boot sale video I put out, and that's a little plug to go and watch the last boot sale video. You see what I've done there. I brought a broken Furby, a Furby that doesn't speak but moves. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea. I can see if I can fix it. And guess what? It's listed as spares and repairs. And I know what's going to happen. Someone's going to buy it. They're not going to read the description. It's going to arrive back to me. So yes, do not buy broken items unless you're the likes of Fix It for Reselling who likes fixing things. Most of the time, you're not going to fix them and they're just going to sit in the corner and you're going to say, I need to get round to that. You won't. Pete's saying, I probably should focus on pricing the sale earlier and make sure my store doesn't have old stock. I used to want to build up my active listings rather than build up my sold listings. Yes. Take all of the money, take some of the money all of the time. That's the thing that I've learned where, do you know what? If you're paying £2 for something and everyone else is selling it for £30, take the offer at £22, take the offer at £25. Do you know what? Take the offer at £20 because you're still making good profit. You know, we're not in the storage game. And a lot of people will say, the first thing a lot of people say when you ask them about their eBay store, they say, oh, I have 5,000 items in my store. For me, that is a nightmare situation personally. I do not want 5,000 items in my store. I want to be selling 5,000 items. So yeah, each to their own. People like to do it differently. But yeah, I completely agree. I think a lot of the time I used to be guilty, and this is one that I'm sure others have done as well. If not, it's just me, and that's okay. I used to, let me pick out something example. So this car here. So I would have a 15 or 20% coupon in the store. But what I would do is I would price this car 25% over the market price, hoping someone would see my coupon and use it and I would still be top end. That's the wrong way to do it. So now I price this at market price with a 15% coupon or a 20% coupon and let the customer get an amazing deal, especially when your cost of goods are so low. Jason saying, I source from charity shops, auctions, and Facebook Marketplace, but car boots are definitely the best value. 100% correct. Auctions might have an argument for that, but yes, car boots are normally the best value, but you can't rely on the car boots. That is the trouble with them. If we had car boots open all year round, and some people do, but in the winter, as a seller, would you want to go out when it's -2? I wouldn't. So you need to take that into account. You need to have 3, 4, 5, 6 different sources. I would have picked up more quality over quantity. Yes, Lee, absolutely. I think everyone's guilty of that. Sometimes you feel you need to pick up, you need to go to a car boot sale and pick up 50 items for it to be a successful trip. When some of my best car boot sales are the ones I've walked away with 2 or 3 items and they're real bangers, So that's something, again, I would do differently. I would say no more in the sense of sometimes you look at a deal, you're in two minds, and I used to never walk away. A fine example, recent one, and Pete was there. Pete saw me doing a deal outside with the guy at the boot sale with the cameras. And at the time, I'm looking, it's all this cameras and it's all this stock I can get. And, I can make this. I should have done more research. And actually, I should have thought, what's this guy paid for? He's just come out of the car boot sale. And I overpaid and I scraped and just made a small bit of profit. And it took a lot of work. So, yeah, just say no a bit more. And you're right, quality over quantity. Lucy's asking, does anyone else keep a bit of backlog of stock from year before, aka put stuff away, forget about it and find it a year later? Yes, so I'm trying to do that a bit more this year where I am trying to overbuy in the boot sale season and store some of it away for the winter. But I don't want a crazy death pile. I'm looking this year more of a queue of stock. And what I am trying to do now is it's first in, first out. That's what I'm trying to say. So if I buy something 3 weeks ago at the car boot sale, I need to process that before I can move on to the other stuff. Because otherwise, you always process the new and shiny stuff, and that's how people create death piles. So now I'm very much a case of the stock goes off to the garages. I've got my stockpile I'm working through here. Once that's clear, I bring more stock into the garage, and then when I go to the car boot sale, straight off to the garage. The temptation is sometimes with that new and shiny stuff to get it listed up straight away. But personally, that's how I'm running it because I don't want a huge death pile. Yes, the pink stuff, I've seen that as well. Pink stuff and washing up liquid. So everyone's using the pink stuff. Magic erasers. Yeah, I've heard that for the white stuff, the white shoes. Toothbrush detergent and washing up liquid, sometimes a weak bleach mix of yellow and magic eraser. So a couple of shouts. Pink stuff is better than elbow grease. I've been doing it wrong then. I have actually got some pink stuff in the cleaning basket. It's going to sound really fussy. It smells a bit funny, the pink stuff, whether that's just my bottle he's replacing. I just think it smells a bit. I use pink stuff and magic eraser, but that for toys and sticky stuff remover. Yeah. Magic eraser sponges for the win. Okay, so I'm going to make a mental note of magic eraser sponges because everyone is saying that. Chuck the Furby, Pete. How can you say chuck the Furby? But jokes aside, I'm probably going to delist it because I know what's going to happen. You can't fix a non-talking Furby. Here we are. This is the person who can fix it for me. One thing I never buy broken are Furbies. Lee, come on, you must know a way. You fixed everything. Furbies can fly. Right, okay, so here we go. £4 Maxwell working. Yeah, I think the Furby's gone. I think I'm gonna have to delist the Furby. I might have to do it live on the stream because I'll forget. But yeah, I completely agree. No one's gonna buy a broken Furby, are they? Let's be honest. Especially if Lee can't fix it, no one's gonna buy it. Jack, hope you're good. Hope things are well, mate. Here we go. Dick saying he would be open to buying things you don't like. As a Vincelli, you often hear, I buy what I like, but I want to buy that my customers like. Yeah, so thinking about your customers a lot more. And the way to do that, and I'm learning how to do that more, look at the sell-through rate when you're picking up items. So it's okay to look at solds, but if there's only 2 or 3 sold and there's 30 or 40 listed, you're probably going to be sitting on that iron for a while. So I've now, when I go sourcing a bit more stuff I don't know, is I will check sold and active, and I'm trying to find a good habit of doing so. Here we go. I've just sold something I bought 6 years ago. It's a multi-quantity listing, and I had hundreds of them. Was it you, Pete, who was it who got all the WWF stuff at one point? Was it you, Pete, or Z? I can't remember which one. Bought loads of WWF stuff at the car boot sale that you said was just sitting around and taking up space. I think it was you, Pete, if I remember rightly. One of your videos a while ago. Jack says, going off the title question, wish I would have niched earlier. Yes, I still pick up a bit of other things, but it's the exception rather than rule. Yeah, so Jack, exactly what I'm doing. I've made the dreaded decision to niche the clothing. And it's going to be a slow niche, but it's going to be about a 90-10 method. So, you know what it's like, Jack. If I go to the car boot sale and I see a Zelda GameCube on the floor, I'm not going to say, oh, I can't pick that up because it's not clothing. But the days of me picking up all this big, bulky stuff are over, unless it's before the end of the year. No one can criticize me before the end of the year. That's the new rule for the channel as well, because a lot of the videos you're going to see are going to be a lot more of everything still until I completely switch over. So I don't want all the comments being, oh, you've got this, you've got that. Yeah, it might have been you. Sold a whole lot. Oh, amazing. Yeah, and that's another good tip. I think if you've got stuff sitting in the store that's not selling, see if you can do a big bundle deal and sell it to someone else, maybe another reseller who actually thinks, oh, I could do a better job than, say, Pete's done on that. Let someone else take it off your hands, because if it's not making money and it's just sitting around doing nothing, there's no point having it in there at all. So For people who weren't here at the start, like I said, I had a nice haul of stuff today. It's from a private pick. It's from a leaflet I have put out in the area, so local to me. And I was in this guy's house today for about 3 hours. Now, 3 hours is a long time. I know what people are going to say, but he had the cutest little dog, and the dog would not leave me alone, and I would not leave the dog alone. So a lot of the time, we're speaking to him, we're having a good chat, playing with the dog for a little bit, and then sorting out all the stuff I have in the lockups and I have sitting here next to me. And the great thing about this deal, it's not just a one-time deal. This guy's house is huge. And in fact, he bought next door's house and knocked the wall through. So I can see me going to this guy's house another 3, 4, 5 times potentially. He has a crazy amount of stuff. Used to sell at car boot sales many years ago, hasn't been for years. So a lot of this stuff I'm picking up is vintage, and we're talking real vintage. We're not talking when people are saying 2012's vintage, it's not. We're talking real vintage stuff. So a lot of stuff from the 70s, a lot of stuff from the 80s, a lot of stuff from the 90s. Let me just see if I can show you any of the bits to hand. I did show this at the start, but I've got a whole load. And here's one in the chat. Let me know in the chat, get to a point. We're not doing tap points. I'm not nicking that off Chris. Nick, let me know, what are these called and who remembers these? Because I have a whole bundle of these that I'm just going to do a big bundle of. Let's see who can get it first. Lou saying, lucky I have a few car boot sale videos backlogged on my channel, 4 to go live. Yeah, so that's one thing I probably need to do a bit more of, especially when the season's in full swing. Need to, I plan to go to 2 or 3 car boot sales over the weekend, 2 on a Sunday, 1 on a Saturday at least. So maybe I need a backlog of unreleased car boot sale videos that I can release throughout the year as well. There we are. Home Pride. Pete was first. Now I remember these Home Pride from the adverts, but there's a whole array of stuff here. All different things, magnets, the lot. So yeah, I'm just going to do one big lot of them as well. Fred, the name is on the hat. Yeah, well, Neil, it's not. It doesn't say Home Pride. It says Fred. We know it's Fred, but Pete was right. Yeah, Home Pride flowers. So this guy also had loads of jars of Home Pride and some of the old Home Pride flower tubs and stuff. A whole mix of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to do a video on that. I think I'm going to do a video on the haul as well. But yeah, Pete wins out with Home Pride. It's not Fred, but good effort. Jack saying, got a guy at the moment like that at the moment with gaming. Yes, quit eBay and clearing out. So I'm learning quickly, contacts are absolute key in this game. I think if you are doing it full time, you need contacts as well as just the Facebook Marketplace, as well as the other apps, as well as the boot sales and auctions. I think if you can create contacts, whether that be contacts in a charity shop, whether that be contacts like Jack's saying there and what I've potentially got here, they are worth their weight in gold. Because I know if I called this guy up tomorrow and said, I'm going to come and see you tomorrow, I'll take another lot like I did today, he's all for it. It's me saying to him at the moment, right, we're away this weekend, let me process some of this, and then let me come and see you next week or the week after. Now, the good thing for him, he's in no rush to give it to anyone else. So it's kind of like my contact now, which is really good. But he has got, when I say rooms, he's got bedrooms stacked from floor to ceiling of stock. Most of it hasn't been through. Most of it hasn't had a chance to go through. So it's going to be a mammoth task. But it's good for me to have that contact. But yeah, like Jack's saying there, you need to find people. And the only way you do that is to speak to people. So when you're at your car boots, if you buy, like Jack's saying there with gaming, if you buy a gaming bundle from someone, ask them the question, what else do you have? Do you have anything else at home? And the amount of times that people say, oh, yeah, I've got this in the loft, didn't get a chance to grab their details, go and see them that afternoon. Contacts. It's really key, I think, if you're especially full-time reseller. I think you've got to do it. Fred from Home Pride, yeah. Flower Man, Flower. Vintage is pre-80s, yeah. The Phantom Dog Walker. That's a new name. Evening. Hope you're well. Yeah, Jack, if you want to put the address, but before you give it to Pete, if you want to let me know as well. But here we go. Funny thing is the guy was given to me by another who couldn't afford it. Yeah, so that's another good point, Jack. Speak to other resellers. I've made so many good connections with other resellers from YouTube and also from the car boot sale field. I mean, I've shouted about many times, and he's close to 1,000 subs now. So Jamie Dodger, James, he's doing really well. He's just gone full time as a reseller, and I met him in the queue in the car boot sale. And now I class him, and hopefully he does me as a friend. And we chat on Instagram throughout the day, and you know, I will grab stuff I see at the boot sale, know he likes, and give it to him, and vice versa. And so you can build relationships. And I know if James ever come across someone who had a storage unit for the clothing they were looking to sell, he would pick up the phone and he would give that contact to me. So make relationships at car boot sale, because like what Jack said there, that's come from someone else who couldn't afford it. Jack's got the retail capital to do it. He's going to, make the deal, and it's all good. Simon and Faye, or Simon or Faye. Yes. Welcome. Hope you're good. So with regards to the sourcing, because I know a lot has come up tonight with regards to sourcing, because I guess for a lot of us in the UK, the weather's rubbish, let's be honest. And even this weekend and this week, it doesn't look like it's improving. What is your one tip to people you would give to others, and you're happy to share? And I know a lot of people won't share. When it comes to making contacts, because I feel, as I said, that's really important. What is the one tip you would give to other people to make contacts? And, my tip is, and what I'm doing this season is I'm going to create some business cards to hand out at a car boot sale, which has my number on. So people have got a quick way for them to contact me. But on top of that, I'm going to also say, can I just grab your number as well? And can I drop you a quick WhatsApp message now? Because a lot of people will put your card to one side, the boot sale finishes, they'll put their feet up, they'll have a cup of tea, and they'll forget to contact you. And if you can be proactive, that goes a long way as well. So what tips would other people give to people that they've used to make contacts in their area? And as I said, a lot of people aren't going to give you their deepest, darkest secrets, because look, we're all in the same game to make money. But what advice would people share for other people? I'll just see if anyone else has popped in the chat as well. Yeah, the pre-80s thing is funny, because when I was looking through some of this stuff today, for me, it's crazy when you're looking at 2000, the year 2000 items, which is now classed as vintage. For me, that blows my mind. Even 2002, 2002. The fact that stuff's vintage now, for me, is absolutely crazy. It just doesn't feel right. And some of the stuff I was pulling out today, I was pulling out some stuff to do with Steps. If people remember Steps, I don't know if you can call them a band. They weren't great, were they? I think they had a one-hit wonder. But I was pulling out some stuff from them, some memorabilia for them, and looking at that, and that's vintage now. That, for me, that's just incredible. Here we go. Don't try and screw over your contacts. Yes. I feel this deal I got today was so good that I've already called the guy back and said to him, I've had a right touch on this deal. It's really good. And as I mentioned at the start, I've got one item in this deal here. And I'm not going to give away a spoiler because I'll put it in the video. But I've got one item in this haul here sitting on a desk next to me that might pay for the whole haul itself. So I've rung the guy up today and I said to him, you've done me a right favour today. I'm going to come and drop you off another £50, because that shows him that I've got to make some money. He's got to make some money. And it shows then you're not screwing over your contacts. And Pete, you're absolutely right. I feel contacts are worth their weight in gold. So if you can find a good one, don't screw them over. And I've done it many a time when I've gone to buy something off a contact and I've said to them, how much do you want for this? And they've said, oh, give us 30 quid. And I said, no, it's worth more. I'll give you 50. Because that is how you build relationships. Sometimes paying a little bit more at the start means you get better deals down the line as well. So yeah, I think that is really important. Don't screw them over. Does he have vintage clothes? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about Jack's contact? Because if so, I asked first, so Jack can send me the contact name. Hope you're good though, Michelle. Hope to catch up with you later in the UK call. And yeah, another shout out to Michelle. She has been so helpful with me when it comes to clothing in the last week, especially when it comes to women's. I'm sending her pictures like, what do you call this? Is it a blouse? Is it this? Is it that? So yeah, really grateful. And again, this is what I'm saying about building up contacts within the reseller community. There is so many helpful people in this community, and I hope you guys see me as one. If anyone's got any questions they want to ask me about reselling or anything, if I can help out, I will spend the time to help people out. So, I mentioned earlier, Neil's really helpful with the cameras, and there's so many people who help out. So yeah, make friends with other resellers. We're all in the same boat. Yeah, so this is really helpful for me as well. So put a post in the local Facebook group saying what you're looking for. You might be surprised by the responses you get. So the reason I picked up this contact was by a leaflet that went through that person's front door. And off the back of my leaflets, I've had so many phone calls of people with stuff. Some stuff I've turned down, some big bulky furniture stuff that I can't take. Some other things are in the pipeline at the moment. Some other things I've turned up and it's been a bit of a waste of time. But as I said, this contact pays for the leaflet itself. So yeah, but even with Facebook is absolutely free to do. You can just make up something on Canva, which is free again. But this is a great tip because put in the local Facebook groups. Now, some are fussy, some will kick you out, and some will delete the post or whatever. But a lot will be absolutely fine with you doing so. So yeah, that's a great tip. Thanks for sharing that one. I'm terrible at getting contacts. I don't actually know how I do it, I suppose. Consistently putting yourself out there. And even though you don't find many, it only takes, yeah, you're right, it does, Jack. It only takes one. And also word of mouth. If you do well with that contact, they might put you in touch with 3, 4, 5 other people who are selling. Like in Jack's case, he's got someone selling loads of old video games who used to sell them himself. Now, he probably knows other people in the market who might be in the same position, who have done eBay, who don't want to do eBay anymore. And he might be able to pass over Jack's details to them. So one contact can turn into many more. But also then Jack's got a contact for life by not trying to screw them over and by doing them a good deal. They're making money. They know Jack's got to make money. He's now got someone who might come back to him 3, 4, 5 times as well. So absolutely. Limelight Vinci says Steps had loads of hits. Now, I can only remember one, and this is going to sound really bad. I can't even remember the name of the hit right now. My mind's gone blank. But Limelight, let me know your top 3 Steps songs in the chat, because I don't think you'll be able to do it. I don't think I had more than one hit. Everyone's coming at me on Steps. Steps aren't a one-hit wonder. Well, I disagree. They are for me. Spice Girls aren't a one-hit wonder, but Steps are. There, Michelle, 3 Steps songs, no cheating in the chat. Dig saying, be open up front with dealers, etc. Let them know what you do and what you're interested in. So I'm going to pause at that point. That is something I have done from day one of being a full-time reseller. Do not be ashamed that you are a reseller. Let people know you are a reseller. It's absolutely fine. My charity shop down the road, I love this charity shop. I keep mentioning them. Shout out I'm not going to say it because I don't want anyone going to my charity shop. But anyway, I go in there and all of the staff now know me by name. They all know I'm a reseller. They all know I've niched down into clothing. So funnily, when I was in there this morning, I walked past the DVDs and games and started having a look. And one of them come up to me and said, that's not clothing. So you build a really good relationship and, let people know what you do 100%. Be willing to pay a fair price. Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, and everyone is trying to make a living. Absolutely. So for this guy today, when I got the stuff home, by pulling out these few items, I realized, do you know what? I've underpriced what this stuff's worth. So by calling him up and saying, I'm going to give you an extra £50, I'll drop it into your Thursday, he was so grateful and so surprised because he's like, many people just wouldn't say anything. But for me, the relationship's worth more to me than that £50. And I know I'm going to go back and see him. So yeah, everyone's got to make some. They're saying, I'm the same as Jack. I'm terrible at making contact. Yeah, I think just ask the question. I know it's really difficult, but I think, Lucy, with you, for instance, you do. I see you buy a lot of toys at the car boot sale. You know, when you're buying them big toy bundles, like the Peppa Pig bundles, just say to them, just say, "Oh, this is great. Have you got any more stuff at home you didn't bring to the car boot?" And you never know, they might say, "Oh, we've got 10 times this." You know, similar to me with the Nerf guns. That guy now, I've got his number because he said to me, "I've got so many more Nerf guns at home." And that for me is a contact. So yeah, just ask. I think it's easier if you buy off someone to ask the question compared to just going from car to car saying, "Do you have any of this? Do you have any of that?" I don't do that personally. I know some do, and that's fine. But I think, Lucy, just ask the question, especially when you're buying. I think it's the perfect time when you're getting the bundle together or handing over the cash. Really easy to ask, especially when you're showing them the money. Neil saying make friends with charity shop managers, especially especially if you specialise. Yes, let the managers know what you are after. You know, the guys in there now know I'm after men's clothing, so I'm getting close. I think to the stage of getting into that back room. But I've done little things. It's little tricks. You know, it's doing things because it's nice, but doing things as well that I know is going to benefit me. I took them some donuts in. One of the ladies on the till said she loves Diet Coke, and so I took her a big bottle of Diet Coke in, and I just spent some time having a laugh with them, and saying, "Oh, when I get to the till when it's £12, I tell them the cats aren't going to eat for 2 weeks," and they're all like wetting themselves laughing. And build relationships. It doesn't cost anything. Make sure it's not fake. Be yourself. Let your personality come out. But have a laugh with them guys. You know they're there to make money. They want to make as much money from the charity for the charity. And you'll be surprised. A lot of charity shops actually like resellers. What they don't like is the people who sneak around looking things up on their phone. If you're just open and say, "Look, this is what I do as a job, and I'm down the road, and I'm going to come in twice a day and see you guys, and I'm going to look after you. I know you're going to look after me." It's so easy to do. Let me have a look here. Here we go. Jack saying, "Don't latch onto every contact though, as I've had one mess me around." Yeah, so this is what I was saying earlier. Learn how to say no. Learn how to walk away from deals. I went to a pickup the other day, and I was speaking to Lee, um, Retro Pursuit, in the group, and I was talking to him about it. And my biggest mistake was I went to the pickup without them sending me any pictures. So I turned up there and they had loads of stuff, but he was on the eBay app quoting me the listed prices and not the sold prices. And I said to him, I said, "We're not going to be able to make a deal because you're looking for eBay prices. I'm looking to sell for eBay sold prices, which are less than the active prices you're asking for." And I walked away from the deal. So lesson there, if you get a contact, just say to them, "Can you ping me for a couple of pictures on WhatsApp?" Just so you don't waste your journey as well. But yeah, learn to walk away. Walking away is actually sometimes a lot bigger than getting a bigger win than getting a big haul, because walking away is the most difficult thing to do sometimes. Here's two of my favorites at the moment, luxury pickers. I've mentioned it in my last couple of videos. I have been binge watching their videos just to learn brands and clothing, and I'm just amazed at the knowledge you guys have. In fact, I like to sleep with headphones on. I can't switch off at night. It's a really bad thing. I need to get out of it because I'm not sleeping too well. But when I go to bed now, I fall asleep to the luxury pickers a lot of the time, and I'm hoping that stuff's going to start getting into my brain. But yeah, love your guys' videos. Keep doing what you're doing, and I appreciate all the stuff you're putting out. It's really helping me. And I hope you guys enjoyed the summit as well. I was watching the Instagram stories that people putting out. It looked quite good. You guys all getting together. So yeah, I hope to meet you guys in the near future. Hopefully with the Boot Sale Roadshow. I'll drop you guys a message. It'll be good to meet up, especially now I'm doing clothing. I would just like to come to your car boot sale and not even spend one penny. I just want to follow you guys around, and you can just teach me what I should be looking at. But I'll drop you guys a message at some point. It'd be really cool. And I'd love to get you guys on as well and have a chat, especially now I'm doing clothing, because you guys are a source of knowledge. Here we go. So it's taken them a bit of time to get the songs in, but we've got 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Here we go. Tragedy. That's the one I was thinking of. So I think Tragedy is a one-hit wonder. It's a banger, don't get me wrong. But the others, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe at a push. Yeah, I don't know. For me, Steps aren't that. Steps didn't do it. Double karma. I really, I really need to get FF my bum and do a flyer myself. Yes, you do need to do a flyer because it's really helped me. And for what it costs, it's worth doing. You can do it for free on Canva. To my sins, well, not to my sins, actually, I don't regret doing this. I use Fiverr to do it because I just thought to myself, I haven't got time and I'm not a designer. And they've done me a really good leaflet. I think it was £15 or £20. I just printed them off, and yeah, they've gone through people's doors in the area, and I'm having lots of success. So yes, you do. Get off your bum and do the flyer. It's a perfect time, especially at the moment. If you think about it, car boot sales are closed and all these people are waiting to sell stuff. If they receive a flyer for the post and then get rid of it in one go, lots of people are really keen. Oh, so Damien's coming. He hasn't even said hello, I don't think. And he's come straight in with why Steps are not a one-hit wonder. Look at all them songs. He's been on Spotify, I think. Hope you're well, Damien, mate. Hope you're good. Lee, I expected more from you. Even I could name you more than 3 Steps hits. Well, we've got lots of Steps fans. There we are. I guess I'm wrong then, because you lot are saying Steps aren't one-hit wonders, but I think they are. They weren't great, were they? Like, haven't they done like a comeback tour thing now, or aren't they going back on tour again? Surely that's not going to be a sellout. I'm probably going to get lots of people unsubbing after this. There's probably lots of Step fans. Yes, Damien's got his Best of Steps album out. Yeah, he's dug that out that he was going to list on eBay, but now he's going to keep it and play it tonight. So he's found it. Oh, he's even seen them live. No wonder he knows all this. Yeah, he's probably doing the dance routines now. Yeah, Damien, get that on like a TikTok or something. Let's see you dancing to Steps on TikTok. That's going to get the views. Now we're talking. S Club 7. Oh, Tam, I don't even want to say it. We're on to music. I didn't think we would go to music from if you could start again, what would you do differently? But now we're on music. For me, S Club 7 are levels over Steps. And that's my opinion. I'm going to stick to it. Has the time change affect anyone else's sleep? Yes. No. Okay, I'm going to say no. And the reason being is because Sunday's car boot was off. I think if the car boot on Sunday was on, I think I'd be really struggling. What is affecting my sleep at the moment is one of our cats believes that 4:30 in the morning is time to wake up. And he comes in the bedroom and he'll jump up on me and he will use his paw to effectively punch me in the face to tell me it's time to wake up. So that's really affecting my sleep because at the moment I'm waking up about 4:30. I'm not going to bed until about midnight. Yes, it's my own fault, which is why this weekend can't come fast enough because I'm actually looking forward to going away and just relaxing. Apart from hopefully doing the boot sale stuff, I've scheduled my listings, or I'm going to be scheduling my listings ready for the weekend so I can switch off. But yeah, I feel exhausted at the moment. I don't mind saying. I feel I'm running out of energy, but I'm just kind of pushing forward into the weekend and I can take a couple of days to recharge them batteries. If you sell clothing, you have to watch Luxury Pickers. Yes, indeed. I recommend to so many people about Luxury Pickers now because I'm into clothing and the knowledge is incredible. Let's have a look here. Thank you, Tam. Yes, that's another thing I always like to say. If anyone has a YouTube channel, drop it in the chat. Tam and Bell, as one of my spanners, are always good at this. If you can drop it in as a link, Tam and Bell, for people to sub. And the reason I love doing this is shouting at other people, and I will always do so, is because when I first started, it's a real minefield in this game of being a YouTuber who's a reseller because there's so many of us. And I was so grateful of the support I got from lots of people when I first started. So yeah, if anyone's got a channel they want to shout out, always feel free to do it. Always plug your videos. Always plug when your next live's coming out. If you've got a video dropping at 8 o'clock this evening, please plug it in the chat because it's all about supporting each other and people have been so helpful to me. So please do that. Hi, what would you do with buyers who win auction but haven't paid 3 to 4 days? So this was number one ick voted by the resellers who were in the live last week. And what would I do? So I allow people the 4 days, and eBay will automatically cancel it after the 4, or you can go in and cancel it yourself. Now, what I will say, auctions are a nightmare for non-payers. They really are. I find 90% of auctions that people win from me, they don't pay. So you've got 2 options. You wait for the 4 days and you either cancel it yourself or let eBay cancel it. If you cancel it yourself, there should be an option saying buyer hasn't paid. Make sure you do that because you don't want it to affect your account. You want it to affect theirs. And then 2 options. You either relist it as an auction. 3 options. You either relist it as an auction. You can sometimes offer someone a second chance. So someone who didn't win but was the second top bid, you can send them out an offer. Or what I tend to do is look at the auction price and then list that as the buy it now price and see whether you can attract someone to buy outright. But there's your options. I'm a bit behind the chat, so I'm sure people have, there we are. People have already answered this. Thank you, guys. Pets are fur children. Yes. My dog, before clock change, come upstairs, sat outside my room at 6:50, which is now 7:50. But he's not coming upstairs. Yeah. So our cats are our little babies. I know there's people who are dog people and there's cat people. I used to be a dog person. I love dogs still, but now we've got cats. They are incredible. So yes, they are. They are like children in a weird way. But yeah, the boy cat is a little terror at the moment. He's acting like a toddler, and he only wakes me up. He doesn't wake up Leanne. He comes on my side and wakes me up. But that's the only reason I'm struggling with sleep, because we've got cats. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, all sub to Luxury Pickers. I'm sure you all know who Luxury Pickers are if you watch my videos anyway, but they are amazing. Lucy's 50 subscribers away from the magic 450. Well, let's look at let's get Lucy to 500. So 100 off 500 subs. Let's try and get her to that by the end of April. She's putting out lots of content on the channel. So yeah, if you don't follow, please do. Sub to Damien before he disappears for another year. Yeah, Damien's the only reseller who disappears for a year and then comes back and still gets the same kind of views on his videos. It's incredible. But no, jokes aside, I had Damien on the channel a couple of weeks ago now. Really good chat with him. And when I go down to Kent, we're going to meet up anyway and go around the car boot sale. So yeah, please do sub to DB Resells. Thanks, Hammerbell, for doing all this. It's always good to have some spanners in who can link all this. It saves me having to find all the channels and doing it. Yeah, please go and sub. Auto cancel is an option that needs to be turned off. Turned on in settings. If you wish to use it, doesn't happen. Yes, I'll be honest. I prefer ending it. And then when it says, would you like to relist automatically? I click no. And then I sell similar and relist it myself. Just because my theory is things drop off eBay. And I think that's why it happens. I might be wrong. That's not confirmed, but that's the reason. Yes, Global Thrifters are back. I messaged them on Instagram. Well, commented on one of their things on Instagram because their videos are back and they're doing really well. So yeah, they're smashing it. And I saw one they've done the other day of thrifting in Thailand, Malaysia, potentially. I might have got them countries wrong. But yeah, that would be really cool to actually see what it's like thrifting in another part outside of the UK. And I know Cooking the Haydens, when they went to the US, they showed some videos and they were cool to watch as well from a UK perspective, thrifting in the US. So they were quite cool. So yeah, Global Thrifters, they've got to do that. So, and there we go. Tam's put it in there. So guys, look, we've done an hour. I need to finish my packing and get them off to the cart before 9 o'clock because today's been an absolute crazy day for me. And then I go live at 9 in the Daily Refinement group for the UK call, and I host a call. I'm no expert. I just host it and enjoy the chat with the guys in there. So I'm going to call it for today. I'm going to try and get a video out on this big haul. It might be next week because I've got a busy time now until we go away. And hopefully, guys, the Boot Sale Roadshow will be starting this weekend down in Newquay, Cornwall area. If the boot sale's on, I'll be filming, and that's going to be #1 the road shows. So, yeah, hope you guys join in for that. And I will be back with you guys soon, hopefully with some boot sale footage this weekend. If not, it'll be this massive haul I've got behind me to show you guys what kind of things I've got. But Thanks all for joining. Thanks for joining the chat. Big shout out again to Hammer Bell for putting all the links in, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good evening, guys.